It should. We struggle, so you shouldn't.
Hi all. So today we are going to have a look into NMAP. So NMAP is a vast topic. Like it's going to be like covering a lot of things. It's including like in many areas to scan. It has many switches and many options. So initially, if you think like when you start beginning hacking into it, so if you start it, so at that time, don't go deep into like if you think like you need to know every each and everything on the map series and how it works and completely learning is like it's not possible actually. It takes a lot of time, but if you wanted to begin in the beginner stage or intermediate stage, you don't need to know each and every concept on that. You need to start with that basics like initial scannings and commonly what we are using in map like common switches and those kind of things. So initially I will give an intro, and after that I will show you some TryHackMe maps. So in TryHackMe itself you can figure out like there are like 4 or 5 TryHackMe rooms on that because it has many versions. So like basically they will provide one concept like commonly used concept, they will make use of it. Then after that when you learn it and when you practice on that, then you feel like when you move on to the next lab you will know like okay, these concepts are basic. So now I need to know after the scanning what I'm going to do and what are the other options while the scan. So these kind of things, it helps in learning actually. Even when I tried, it helps in the sense like if I also googled and I searched many YouTube videos and like there were several areas and each and every video has a certain kind of difference and level. So it's like basically when you start, if I decide like I need to learn completely in map and after that only I'm going to move on to the next concept in cybersecurity, then it will be dragging me like because it has many variations and it's going to consume a lot of time. And what happens is end of the day I will be stuck into nmap only, and those who basically learn the nmap concept and move on to the next concept will have a wide range of areas covered in cybersecurity. So that's the reason. What I'm suggesting is initially when you learn, just learn the concept, the common ones. Like let's say if you learn only one try hack me room, is enough. Just learn it thoroughly and practice it. Then move on to the next concept. Like not only scanning is included in cybersecurity, right? Scanning is there, the basic reconnaissance stuff. Then nmap, other than nmap there are some other features, some other programs and tools are there for scanning as well. You can call zenmap as an example. Like it's a graphical user interface one of similar to nmap, but you can see it not in the command line. It's going to display in a GUI version. Okay. What else? Like we had many other options in cybersecurity, right? Not only scanning part, right? So we will be after the post scan, what we are going to do, how we are going to after the scanning, we will be need to get the access to the systems, the targets. So after the access, you need to have privilege access, and those kind of things included a lot of tools there. Like work suit is there, so a lot of things are there. So initially, don't just stick into one. If you learn like wait until you cover completely in map, it's not going to be an ideal choice. Of course it helps, but in the sense like the same time if another person or colleague put his effort on learning various topics, and you will be stuck only onto any, right? So that's the reason. So what I'm suggesting is what helped me is like getting into other areas as well at the same time, simultaneously learn everything, like not only stuck into one concept and like just mastering it will not help individually. Okay, so later on, after learning other stuff as well, you can just have an idea. You will be like familiar with NMAP. So after that, you can go for other try-hacking rooms. Other options are there. You can fine tune the learning. So for initially to start with, don't fix your mind like you need to learn complete NMAP options, because let me show you, like when you try the NMAP help option, it will show itself. You can see how many options are there, and the usage other than the options, the usage is even higher than that, right? So just start with it, begin with it, no worries, right? And it's easier because I tried, it worked for me, so it will work for you, so don't worry. So here I'm on my try hack me. So you can see when I type nmap, I can see several labs, and not only this, there are a few more labs as well on nmap itself. Okay, so when I search nmap, it should, so let me open this for you and just can have a look at it. Okay. This is the lab which we are going to explain on upcoming videos, or this one, or maybe this might take 2-3 videos. Let's see. So this is one of the nmaps. Okay, next one, you can see this is similar, but it has a lot of variations. Okay, some concepts are like basically explained, and some are explained in depth. And after that, you will have post spot scan. Okay, you can see this is a premium lab. So most of your, like, if you all haven't purchased the TryHackMe premium room, like premium subscription, then you might not be able to attend these things. But it's fine, you can have a look at it. Okay, so later down the road, I'll be providing some this lab you can have a look. It's a free version, and but this one we will be covering in our lesson. So this one is also a premium one, but you will be having it. Okay, got it. And in case if you are starting with purchasing the TryHackMe one, I would suggest you to go for the annual version subscription, because initially when I started, I just purchased 1 or 2 months, like monthly basis. After that, I realized like the annual version is more like half the cost of the uh, monthly version is provided in annual. So better to go for that one, because trust me, when you are starting your career in cybersecurity, TryHackMe is a good opportunity and platform. Okay. So the way it's a useful teaching resource. I wouldn't say like self-learning would help you like thoroughly. I can't guarantee that one, because at some areas you need someone to point you out. This is how this particular task is done, like that. So you need a support. So this is a good teaching resource. So for teaching, it's really easier, because rather than explaining in words, it's graphically everything is simply made already, so it's easier for us to explain. And one more thing, so these other than these TryHackMe rooms, I would like to let you try initially with the virtual machines. Okay, in SourceForge, there is a machine called Metasploitable. I think in our previous videos, I might have already pointed this out. So this is a vulnerable machine, which means like it has many vulnerabilities, weaknesses. So anybody who try to hack it easily can hack it. But this machine is there to practice, so that it's easier for people to try their ways of hacking skills. So you can download this one. Okay, Metasploitable 2. This option simply comes like Metasploitable 2. If you type it, you can simply have it. Okay, just download it. After you download, let me show you. So you will get a file like this, a compressed folder. I have copied it to another folder because I don't want it to be there. So after copying, I just unzip it. Okay, you can extract it, extract all or extract to. You can provide WinRAR. Okay, extract to. I have given. After that, I had this folder. Okay, in the same name, I have extracted, and let me open it. So after you open, you will see this. So you can see it's a virtual machine disk format. Okay, if you double click, you can have it. It will be automatically open in your virtual machine, virtual box. Sorry. So you can see our virtual box has my Kali Linux virtual machine. Let me open that as well. Okay. Another thing, I'm having the Metasploit VM. You can see. So some other VMs are there which I use for the other labs. So I can open this also. Let me wait. I don't want to open it simultaneously in the sense like at a time. So first, let me wait until the Kali VM opens. After that, I'll go for the Metasploit. Okay. And then, so there's nothing to install on Metasploit. Just you double click, it will open, and the password would be msf admin, and username also same. Okay, msf admin, admin, the same I think. Okay, just to log in. And what we can plan is, right, let me explain that for you. Initially, the Kali VM is there. Okay, so from there again I will be having the entire VM as well. Okay, so this is the vulnerable machine. Okay, so from my Kali virtual machine I will open the command prompt, and from the command prompt I'm going to try to scan this metasploitable VM. Actually I'm not going to exactly scan this VM. What I'm going to do is this Kali VM and the metasploitable VM going to have the same network card attached. Okay, so if you attach the same network card for the both VMs, what happens? They will remain in the same network. So when you try to scan with the NMAP, you will see this metasploitable IP is going to be scanned by the Kali VM. Okay, and also what NMAP does is it will scan for the open ports on each and like each target. It will check what are the open ports and what are the services running on those ports, like services in the sense like HTTP is there, SSH is there, telnet is there. So there's a lot of services running, right? HTTP or HTTPS, telnet, SSH, and there's much more, SMB for 25. There's a lot, right? So basic services are there. So each service runs on a particular port number. So when that particular port is open, which means in that this metasploitable machine is listening. Let's say, let's take a look at like port 23, which is for telnet. Okay, so when this particular port 23 is open on this metasploitable VM, which means this particular one is listening. So it's listening on this port 23. Okay, so whoever try to reach this particular port they can access this metasploitable VM. And if they add some other scripts or anything, they can reach, like let's say a Python code, Python script they are executing, so which could give you a reverse shell or something from the Kali VM itself. So from your Kali machine, you will be able to reach to this metasploitable VM. Okay, this is the simplest concept, but uh, accessing and reaching out to the VM is the second part. Basic point is you're scanning what are the things in your network. For example, so initially if you take a company, let's say in your company, there will be many network switches, stacks, everything is there. Okay, so in each flow, this is the basic networking part. Okay, consider it as switches. Sorry about my drawing skills. So each network port on the switch will be connected to a PC or laptop or a printer, whatever, any network device, right? So that's how it's going to be. So everything is like that. Every network switch will have like that, connected to the basic, uh, connected to the devices on your network. And now what this NMAP does is it will scan your network. Okay, in your network, it will scan and figure out each and every device where they are listening, which ports are open, so that you can fine tune, like you can filter your targets. Because if a device is not open to listening, or if a device is not responding, then you don't need to like execute a script on that. There will be other device which is already listening, so you can use that one and get use of it, get the access from it, right? So these kind of things you are going to try. So this is a basic idea. Okay, and when you scan initially nmap, there is a concept called three-way handshake, right? So hope if you are not newbie, you might already know it. Okay, let's say and B, for example. So what three-way handshake does is, like let's say PC A and PC B. So PC A wants to communicate to PC B. At that, what it does, it will send a request. Like this is the first packet. Okay, so request is given, sent to PCB, asking whether whether shall we connect, like that. It's going to ask. So there will be a sequence number, sequence equals 0, and acknowledge is the next step. Okay, for now no need. So sequence. So from PCB, it will receive that particular request, and if it's okay to connect with PCA, it will respond. Okay, the response is going to provide like sequence 0 and acknowledge. See, it's going to accept it. Then after that, from PCA, this will acknowledge. Okay, so request is the first one, response is the second one, and acknowledging the confirming part is going to be the third one. So there will be a three-way handshake. Three times the communication is done from A to B. So that's the reason, like this is how initially the communication is started. So in this way, let me explain this part where when we have the TryHackMe room, it will be easier for you to understand with Wireshark and all. But what I'm saying is the three-way handshake, like when you have a firewall or anything, this is like initially PC A and PC B making a connection. Okay, so initially they are connecting. So if it's connected, then the firewall or IDS is kind of a intrusion detection system firewall also. Okay, and or anything, they will automatically know another stranger or someone is connecting to our network, right? So for this reason, in case like if they track you from company side, they will figure out, okay, you are trying to hack into their system. So if you wanted to scan it like without connecting, what we can do is like, let me change the color. Oh, in PCA, the same process, okay, it's going to request, and when PCB sends the response, like, okay, we can connect, it's going to say that. But when PCA receives that response, it's not going to acknowledge. This time, for example, if it acknowledges the connection, the firewall or IDS can see. So this time it's not going to acknowledge, it's going to reset, which means it's going to send a reset flag so that the connection will be terminated. So in that case, there is no connection, so the IDS or IPS will not have any idea like who connected like that. Okay, because the communication is like only like whether we can connect or not. When you say okay, we can connect, at that time the connection is resetted, so the connection is not built. Okay, so that's the thing. So this is like theoretical part. Let me just go for the try hack. Otherwise it will be go clear the screen, and I hope I can start the metasploitable. Let me check on my Kali VM. Okay, log into the Kali VM. A few minutes. So in that time, I let me start the metasploiter. Okay, start. Until this starts, let's go for the. Okay. Meanwhile, let me start this room. So you can join room, and we can do it in either ways. Like from my Kali virtual machine, I can start the OpenVPN and reach to this network and figure it out. If not, I can open, or if you wanted to do it manually, you can open attack box and do it. Okay, attack box in the sense it's from the browser itself you can use. No need to worry about starting a virtual machine or metasploitable. Nothing is needed. Okay, so TryHackMe room itself has these options. So join the room. Rooms are smarter, questions, interacting. Okay, I know. So once the room is started, I might get, if there is a machine, it will show an IP. Okay. For now, initially they have some theoretical parts. Let me explain. Okay. So what they are suggesting here is like initially in your network, if you want to see, you can do the network ping or arp-scan. Okay. So when you scan, it will show you what are the PCs or laptops or other network devices in your network. So that is the part explained here. And once you know this particular part is there, and you will have some other ports open, you need to check it. Like as I already told, port 23 for telnet, 22 for SSH, so 20 and 21 for FTP. So these ports are open or not, you can check it by telnetting to the port numbers. Okay, but what happens individually, you need to check for example, let's say 192.168.0.1/24 network. Okay, so there will be 254 usable IPs, which means devices. Okay, so each device you need to check telnetting and figure out whether the device is open, listening on this particular port or not, like that. For different port numbers, you need to search like that. So it's a like not not so possible, right? We will be like hesitating on that one, like individually manually, if we try to do that one. So that's the task actually done by NMAP. It will scan your network, it will automatically see and send requests and figure out. That is the tool is made for. Okay, it will scan and give you an idea what are the ports, what are the devices open, what are the listening ports, how we can get an idea, and how we can try to get access to those devices. So NMAP is going to suggest that, making your way easier, right? So let's see. So they're providing the initial introduction of this room, like what are the live hosts, and as I told, many options are there in NMAP. So in this lab, they are going to provide how to discover the active host and find running services on that, and the different types of port scanning, the versions, and control the timing, how long it needs to be, like the scanning should wait or how fast it should scan, those kind of thing, and saving the out. I think OA switch. Let me explain those. Okay. So initially they are saying like it's better for you to like TCP IP models and all, you might need to know. In our like previous networking playlist, I'm not sure I posted. There might be some labs. Okay, so you can go through these basics. So our first task, nothing to write. Check my environment, task portable VM. Okay, so you can see here the metasploitable VM is there. I can log in as well if I want. Close this. Why it's showing something? So I can provide the login like MSF admin, same password MSF admin. Okay. So I got the access. Just type if config in order to check the IP address. So the IP is showing like 10.024, right? And okay, 255 3 times and 0, which is /24 subnet. So 10.024. Okay, so that's it. So let me minimize this metasploitable VM, and from my Kali VM can log in. So let me open the terminal. As always, I will be opening yeah, inspired one, so that I can copy paste this commands for your reference later. So we'll be posting the commands in the description or in our Google Drive and get access for reference. But I would suggest you to practice, not just have a look. Just referencing, you can do it after you practice, like 2-3 times. Just after you get some familiarity, you can go for the reference. So let me type ifconfig. So my Kali virtual machine's IP is 10.023, okay, and /24, and the metasploitable VM we got 10.024. So let's say if you don't have the access to metasploitable VM, what happens? You can try arp-scan -l. Sudo is for root access, arp-scan -l. Okay, so I'll use the password for Caribbean. Okay, so you can see, hope you can see it clearly. So sudo arp-scan -l will scan your local network and find you the IPs available in the local network Ethernet 0. Okay. So 10.0.2.3, you can see it's our IP, the Kali virtual machine IP, and 10.0.2.1 is there, 2.2 is there, 2.4 is there. So by now we already knew 2.4 is the IP for the metasploitable VM. Okay, but 2.1, you know, locally administrated, in the sense it's going to be the network address, or uh, the broadcast address also will be there. So when you try for the arp-scan -l, it will include those things. Okay, but here in the case, you already knew 10.0.2.4 is the metasploitable IP. Okay, this one you can have an idea when you do the nmap scan. It will show you the ports open or not, and in-depth idea you will have. Okay, and one more point, mainly whenever you run nmap command, please do run it with the sudo privilege. Okay, super user privilege or root access, because you won't see any difference. Like for example, when you run without sudo command, you are running the nmap command, still the command works, but there are certain differences. The output will be synchronized. There are limitations for the output. If you run it with full privilege, then only the output will give you a thorough idea. Okay, so that's the main point. So let me clear the screen. Go nmap hyphen. Initially, let's say I'm going to try to check only the basic, whether port is open or basic scan. Okay, the hosts are live or not. I'm just going to use -sn for that. 10.0.2.4. Okay, which is my metasploiter. This shows, this particular SN part shows scan. Just remember the word scan. So when you scan it, the host particular target is active or not, target is live or not. That one is going to be shown. So with the sudo command I'm running. Okay, enter it. So you can see the output 10.0.2.4. MAC address is shown, Oracle virtual machine scanned in this much time, nmap done, one IP address, and it's showing host is up. Right? So now let's say, let me change the IP which is not available, 10.0.2.6 or something. Let's see the difference. Okay, so here the same one, but here what the command is there, host seems down. Okay, if it's really up but blocking our ping probes, try -pn, which will show you the port range scan. So okay, then for that, that is the reason I just showed this. So 10.0.2.6 is not in our network, right? But still, if you scan it, it's showing host seems down. 10.0.2.4 is my metasploitable machine, and it shows host is up. So this particular sn command is for checking whether the host is up or not. Okay, but this is not the scenario every time. Okay, so -sn. So here you can see, you can remember this by the word scan. Okay, scan in the sense, generally scanning and figuring out whether host is live or not. That's all. Okay, so if host is up, it will show up. If host is down, it will show host seems down. Okay, zero host up. Okay, so another reason, let's say when you have two PCs and you are scanning one another, the thing is some PCs will not respond to your ping request. Okay, some will not respond back. So if but still the PC can be active and running, but still it doesn't respond. Okay, so that's how it's programmed not to respond. So in that case, when you check for this -SN option, it will not receive any response from the target side. So in that case, the Nmap thinks, okay, I didn't get any response, so that particular PCB is dead or not alive. Okay, so this is the scenario. Like uh, the in the reality, the PCB is active, but it's not just it's not responding only, right? So in that case, what we need to do, we can go for this PN scan. So initially, Nmap will scan for the basic, whether you are active or not, whether you are live or not, like that. Okay, so if you didn't respond, it might mark it as you are not live or the device is not active. In that case, next step, if you run this PN scan, like port based, particular port is running or opening or listening on that. In that case, this particular PCB could respond for the port based scan. So that's how you can easily get an idea, like finalize your idea whether this particular device is open or not, active or not. Okay, this is not for all the devices. For particular devices, it doesn't respond back for safety reasons. They might have blocked the response, not to respond for the ping request or ICMP request. Okay, initially to check, it's going to send a ICMP request, a packet basically. Okay, ICMP request is going to be blocked if it doesn't have to like get any response. Okay, so hope the concept is clear. I think I'm explaining it slowly because I don't want you to miss any concept. Okay, so initially Nmap is going to scan and it's going to get send some request and receive some response. It will mark it as live. If it didn't receive any response, it will mark it as like disabled or not live. But maybe the other side could be still active and not responding back. Okay, just imagine like someone is having a phone and when you call they are not uh, attending. It doesn't mean they don't have a phone or the line is disabled like that, right? They didn't attend it. Okay, maybe they might like when you call from different number, they might be attending. In that case, you can easily remember this is the kind of scenario. Okay, let me clear. So I can use -pn as well for port based scannings. Okay, so -sn is for just to check initial part. So now we are going to have a look into the -st option, which is connect scan. So for the metasploitable machine, I'm going to do the TCP connection. So ST is for that one. Okay, so enter it. Let's see. Okay, there you go. So you will have this much of ports listening and open. So note the port part and state whether it's open or closed and service is shown. Okay. You can see this port options, which ports are open, which ports are closed. So 21, 20 and 21 for FTP, 22 for SSH, 23 Telnet, 25 SMTP. Okay. So SMB is like 135. I think I messed up earlier. I told like SMB as 25 or something. Sorry, 25 is for SMTP. Sorry, and DNS for 53, 80 for HTTP, HTTPS 443. Think HTTPS is not open. Yes. Okay, it's fine. So these many ports are open. The port states are shown here, open or closed. There are few states, okay, like whether the ports can be open, can be closed, or it can be filtered, okay. After that, open filtered or close filtered, okay. So state, it can be open, which means the target port is open. Close means it's not open. Filtered means it's open or closed but protected by a firewall, like IDS or anything. A firewall is protecting that one. That's why it's shown for filter. Open filtered is like self-explanatory. It's kind of like the port is open and protected. Closed filter means closed and protected. Okay. Then the service part. Okay. So TCP, SSH, which service is running on. And there we will have another one. For now we have used -st, right? So -st shows you the TCP scan, okay, connect scan, okay, TCP connect scan. If you mention -su, simple as capital U, okay, here simple as capital T. These are called switches in NMAP, okay. You can change the switches accordingly. You can modify your NMAP options, okay. -su is like UDP scan, okay. Whichever the ports listening on UDP, you will see. UDP in the sense you need to know like what is TCP and what is UDP. Some people know, some doesn't know. So let me explain it. So in a brief, I'm explaining. Okay. So TCP is like a reliable connection. For example, when you are sending an email, let's take an email communication. Okay. So you are sending an email. You are sending like connecting with someone, and you are transferring your email. And in the email, you are providing the password or any confidential data. So, which is important data is present on your email. Okay, you are transferring it to from PC A to PCB or sender to receiver. Okay, so when you transfer that in that email, there shouldn't be any packets or any data missing. Whatever you send should be received to the other side, right? If there is a missing portion on a confidential email, what is the point? So the information is not, data is not transferred properly, right? So for that, what's done is the connection is made via the TCP tunneling. Okay. In the sense, before the data travels, okay, there will be a tunnel. Just imagine like that. There will be a communication tunnel initially built. Okay. After the tunnel built from A to B, the communication tunnel is made. After that, data can travel in any order, and it's organized in the receiver side, arranged based on the sequence numbering, etc. In depth, you don't need to have an idea. Just initial basic idea is enough. So TCP is connection oriented. Initially, the connection is made. After the connection made, the data is traveling. Okay, so you can ensure the reliability of the connection, and data is whatever the sent is received properly. So it's a good thing for you. Okay, but UDP is not connection oriented protocol. Okay, in the same scenario, point A, point B. Okay, imagine one person is calling on a like live video call or gaming stream. Okay, so in that time, let's say your video is transferred as small packets, right, initially. So the data is transferred as small bits of data. So in that sense, a particular uh, packet or particular data, a small portion of your picture is dropped. Okay, at that time, is there any point that resending that missing part again from the receiver side, from the other end to you? There is no point, right? No need to resend the missing part and collect it, because it's a live call or live video call. If there, let's say if you make a phone call, and in that call a particular small voice or particular echo sound or anything is missing, particular word you said has been a small drop was there, there is no point in like resending and collecting that particular portion and sending it again. It doesn't make any sense, right? So that's the reason the UDP protocol is made. There is no connection enabled before the communication happens. UDP is called connectionless protocol. Okay, there won't be any communication built, tunnel or anything built before the communication. It's like a live call. You just send whatever you want initially. The data is sent. Whatever sent is transferred to point B, point A to point B. There is no checksum done. Nothing is like resent and whether the sent portion is fully received or not. Nothing is checked. Whatever you want to send, it's sent to the point B. That's all. It's like a transferring part. So that's why UDP is. So when you don't want to make a connection while scanning, you can, some services use TCP, some uses UDP. Okay, preferred for mainly for live streamings, gamings, and all. UDP services preferred. TCP is connection oriented, where like reliable communication when it's needed, then TCP is used. So according to the scanning portion, scanning switch you check, like -ST or SU, the open ports and all will be scanned by NMAP. Okay, hope the concept is clear.